Chapter 3. Different. There's no doubt about it. Screwball proved to be a difficult baby. A unicorn, Pegasus filling would have been easier. Despite her magical surges and eagerness to fly, the daughter of pure chaos had that and more. While her magic satisfied her hunger, a task that her parents were relieved of, the infant did not fully understand the capability of her powers. A single thought from her simple mind would cause something extraordinary to happen. One day, Fluttershy had the misfortune to come into the nursery and find her child gnawing on parts of her crib, was returned to Licorice. This girl would never forget the night he made the most shocking discovery. A month after bringing their filly home, the couple woke in the middle of the night hearing her wails. "Your turn," Fluttershy said wearily. Overgrown, Discord teleported to the nursery, and gradually he saw the crib empty. "Screw," he called desperately, using his nickname for her. "Screwy, where?" He heard a sinister laugh and looked up to see Screwball floating above his head. Oh, heck. He should have guessed that this would happen. He jumped up and swung his arms at her. Oh, but she was as stubborn as her father and easily dodged him. "Get down here, young lady," he demanded. Then he tilted so high his head crashed to the ceiling, his antler horror leaving him stuck. Screwball snickered, but gasped when she saw the angry look on her father's face. She took that as her cue to flee. "Oh, that's how you want to play it, huh? Come back here!" He flapped his wings furiously as he chased her around the room. For an infant, she was quite fast and sneaky. She flew beneath the crib and glided to the side. He saw his horn and antler once again. He chose to go around, finally got a grip on her. "Gotcha, you little scamper," Discord shouted triumphantly. The filly tried to struggle out of his grip, but his father's hands were too strong. At last he gave up with a pout. He laughed and stirred as he held her up. "Now you get back to bed so your daddy and mommy can get some sleep," he cooed. He took a sniff of the air and cringed. Screwball snickered again. "But first, some point needs to change," he sighed. "Oh, I hate this part." He snapped his fingers, and the filly's dirty diaper disappeared, a clean diaper replacing it. Who knew raising a foal would be so much work? He grunted as he sat her down in her crib. As he crossed her hooves and glared down with spiral eyes, he began to wonder if he inherited his mother's stare. "Oh, don't give me that look, little missy," he ordered, pointing his finger at her. "You may have chaotic power at your disposal, but I am the Lord of Chaos, and I make the rules around here. Got it? Playtime is over. Now get to sleep before I make you sleep." Philly suddenly broke into tears, causing Discord to freeze. That had been louder than he intended. Please don't cry." She opened her mouth and wailed at full volume. It was not that he hated his daughter or vice versa, but when it came to her crying, he was helpless. He did not have the ability to calm down any living creature like Fluttershy. So far, she had been the only one to handle situations like this. "Please," he begged, "you'll wake your mother." He had to get her to quiet down and go to sleep. He tried to sleep spell on her ages ago, but the filly had developed a resistance to most of his magic, he had discovered. A trait he received from her mother, no doubt. He considered fetching his wife to take over from here, but he did not want to rouse her from bed. She had been working harder than ever in his past month, taking care of the baby along with her pets. Discord decided he had at least had to try and calm his daughter down. First, he considered what was making her cry. She had already changed her diaper, and she was clearly not hungry, because she could handle that herself. He considered getting a laugh instead of a cry. "Hey, Screwy!" he exclaimed. "What's this?" In a flash, he was on top of a unicycle, juggling a pie, a boot, and an anvil. Screwball stopped crying and watched this act of curiosity. The object slipped out of her father's hands and landed on his head. First the boot, then the pie, then the anvil. Ta-da! So he blinked for a moment, then cried again. "Sheesh," he muttered to himself. "Tough crowd." He knelt at his bedside. "For goodness sake, what do you want from me, kid?" His outburst did not make it any better. He slapped himself in the face. What would Fluttershy do in this predicament? In the time that he had known her, he had still had trouble being gentle with other creatures. He thought that the problem was that others were too absorbed with his appearance to give him a chance. I realized the problem might be him not giving them a chance, or rather, kindness a chance. Maybe he should give it a chance now. He thought about what Fluttershy would use to calm the baby down and snapped his fingers. "Lullaby, is that what you want?" Philly seemed to understand for him and stopped wailing for a bit, and held her at a hose with a whimper. In case he wanted him to hold her as well. He carefully scooped her in his arms. She was so tiny and soft, and not to be surprised that she grew up to be as beautiful as her mother. Thank heavens he had inherited that part of her. He cradled her gently and attempted to sing the lullaby Fluttershy would always use. "Hush now, quiet now, it's time to lay your sleepy head. Hush now, quiet now. It's time to go to bed. He trailed off as he began crying again. He rolled his eyes. Everyone is a critic. Fortunately, he was not so gifted in singing as his wife was, mostly because he had not much practice. Besides, the song was not in his key. Maybe he should try another song. Did not know many. Perhaps he should make one up. The first line he sung came straight from his thoughts. Please do not cry, my dear. Your daddy is so very here. She paused a moment to listen to the haunting tune. Discord glanced down and saw his cheesy song was working, so he continued. If any pony causes you any harm or fear, and I will bring them pain, make them drown in yurts all in chocolate. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let's do that again. Please do not cry, my dear. Your daddy is so very here. 'Cause if any pony causes you any harm or fear, then I'll bring them pain and drown them in chocolate rain. 'Cause I am your daddy Discord, and you are a piece of me. The filly giggled in delight, clearly enjoying the song. She clenched her tiny hooves for more. Discord smiled down at her. Oh, simple spawn of mine, without you I would be so lost. I will stick by your side, no matter the tragic cost. Our craze and mads and thoughts, what give you me our strength, because you are my thoughts a screwball, and you're going to sleep right now. The lullaby took effect as Screwball let out a yawn and closed her eyes, gazed in awe as he instantly sucked her hoof. He would have given her a pacifier, but he knew it was useless, considering he eaten the last three. So he laid her in her crib, careful not to wake her. He picked up her stuffed dragon, Sir Fangslot, and slid it under her foreleg. He tightly tugged the quilt that Apple Bloom had made her small body. Smiling, he leaned over and kissed the filly on the forehead. Alas, this would not be such a bad father after all. When he teleported back to bed, he announced to his wife, Our baby can fly. Fluttershy sighed, still half asleep. Of course he can. Despite the complications, Discard and Fluttershy loved their newborn filly. She had a contagious laugh that was a combination of joy and sneakiness, much like her father's. Her powers, while making her difficult to deal with, were actually quite entertaining. Once she had learned to teleport, she and Discord took the game of peekaboo to new heights. She would often get restless, but Fluttershy was able to calm her down with her tenderness. When that did not work, she would use to stare on her. Discord was grateful to Philly had not inherited his immunity. The biggest issue was finding a babysitter. While Pinky was the most eager, not even she could handle the filly's unpredictability. Rainbow Dash had to rest up for her delivery. Twilight was too busy on her studies, and Rarity was too occupied with her store. Apple and Sleepbell and Skilgoo tried, but not even the three normal ponies could control the powerful ecstatic infant. Applejack proved the best babysitter, with the assistance of Spike. Hey, maybe you finally let me... No. You see, you're just the best babysitter out there, Spike. Me, on the other hand, I ain't going anywhere. No, if it's spawn of chaos, thank you very much! As she had to raise Apple Bloom from infancy, she had the most experience, though her sister could not do magic. Even though it was a pain searching for her whenever she disappeared, she would not lose her patience, and actually found ways to calm the filly down. The cowgirl considered her quite adorable. I almost really had one, she said once in a while, crying her. Maybe one day, Applejack. Maybe one day. She forgot that Spike had been standing right next to her. What? Screwball was excited about her new powers, but not realizing how unusual it was for a filly like her. She got the most excited whenever Dinky was over. As far as I had promised, she and Derpy would bring their daughters together for play dates. Screwball so adored her little playmate and was fascinated with her funny yellow eyes. She would stare at him for ages and wonder what the unicorn was looking at with one eye or the other. She would amuse her playmate with her powers, making her toys levitate and circle in the air. Dinky would cut her hooves in pleasure. The only magical services the unicorn had when her pacifier, the same one Screwball had given her when they first met in the hospital, was out of reach. When Rainbow Dash's twins arrived, Screwball was given two additional playmates. They were fraternal twins, a boy named Thunder Dash and a girl named Lightning Dash. They both had their father's light blue coats and their mother's violet eyes. Thunder's mane was streaked with blue, black, and purple, while Lightning was red, orange, and yellow. Screwball took an immediate interest in their wings, finding them smaller, yet similar to her mother's. The two could fly before they could walk. Screwball was over a year old when she discovered that this was just learning to walk on her four legs herself. She was able to fly at their age, too, but she noticed she did not have wings. She also realized that their eyes looked in the same direction. Laurie knew that Dinky's eyes were unique. At some point this age, she met a pony she had never seen before, and jumped back to the side of her. Her short curly mane was purple with streaks of white. Her coat was light pink, but her eyes were not that interested Screwball the most. They were different. They were nothing like Dinky's. They seemed to have no blackness in her eye, only a purple swirl. Screwball reached out to touch the filly, and at the same time, the filly reached out to touch her. The hooves met, and Screwball flinched at the smooth texture she was feeling. It was not a hoof, it was glass. Her parents had already observed that Screwball seemed quite intelligent and understanding for a foal her age. It had taken her long to conclude that the strange filly was, indeed, her. That was what she knew. Fluttershy found her daughter sitting in front of a full-length mirror and flew down to her. "So there you are," she said, reaching down her hooves. "I've been looking." Screwball uttered. Her mother blinked in surprise. She gurgled a few words before her first one being Dinky. Most of the discourse displeased her. "You open to be Dada." But this was new. "What did you say?" The foal pointed to the mirror. "Differ." Her hoof then tapped the reflection in her eyes. As Screwball grew older and developed better speech, she began noticing things that were different about her. Her diet was her first indicator. Friends always stared at her when she drank her soup cup instead of the milk inside it. Her playmates, their mothers, and her own mother did not do the things she did. Objects did not appear out of nowhere on her command, nor did he just come to them from afar. It happened to Dinky, but not as much. She noticed her father did the same things as frequently, even more often. Yes, her dad. Only realized how different he was from other ponies. His size, shape, appearance, behavior. She always saw the contrast whenever her mother or one of the other ponies was next to him. When she was 4, she finally approached her parents about this. It was after they read her a bedtime story that she asked, "Mommy, Daddy?" "Yes, dear," her mother responded softly. "Why am I different?" Discard and Fluttershy paused, their smiles disappearing as they shared a look. "You're not different, honey," her father insisted. "You're just unique." "Like your friend Dinky," Fluttershy added. "She don't do magic," Screwball said. "Not like mine. Twins have no magic. None. Why me? Why my eyes different?" You know, if I keep reading fics with little fillies and I start putting up my voice to this high octave, I'm either going to get stuck this way, or choice B, my throat is going to kill me in rebellion. My mother glanced to the side. "Sweetie," the filly pointed to Discord. "Daddy, very different." He was screwy. "I think you..." "Why?" The couple looked at each other again and sighed simultaneously. "Yes, my love," Fluttershy said. "You and Daddy are different. As you may have noticed, I'm a Pegasus, and your father's a Draconequus." Screwball tilted her head. "Link, good spike." My mother laughed. "No, honey, a Draconequus. They are wonderful, majestic creatures with incredible powers that can bend reality." Discard put his paw over his heart. "My dear, you flatter me. Your flattery is an understatement. I am the spirit of chaos and disharmony. Well, it's my duty to make the world less boring with my little quirks. After all, what would this world be without chocolate rain?" Screwball squealed and kicked her hooves happily in agreement. "Anyway," Fluttershy continued, "I know you're young and useful for two different creatures to marry. So your father and I fell in love. No pony really approved. We found a way through, however, and had you. You're like a pony, but you have your father's powers. Never been such a pony before." Unless you count all the other fanfics that have Discord mate with any one of the other ponies of the cast. "What your mother is trying to say is," Discord interrupted, leaning forward to press the star's hair, "you are special, because you are a product of two species, two creatures who love each other very much, despite their differences." He smirked as he wrapped his tail around Fluttershy and pulled her closer. She was startled at first, but then laughed and kissed him on the snoot. "Your father's right," she said to the filly. "Well, duh," Discord huffed. "Of course I am." She nudged him playfully in the ribs with the elbow.
Don't you worry about being different, honey. Your eyes, your powers are what make you special.
The Necronicus leaned forward, and there's no pony more special than our little screwball. Philly smiled, assuring that their words had helped. Her parents had kissed her goodnight and turned out the lights. Screwball closed her eyes and sighed contentedly. Special. That's what she was. Special.